The sun bakes the East African Rift Valley. This is the land of the Hadzabe. Acacia trees dot the landscape. Lake Eyasi shimmers in the distance. The Hadzabe, ancient hunters and gatherers, call this land home. Their lives are intertwined with nature. They live in small nomadic groups. Families gather around fires, sharing stories. They know the land intimately. Skilled hunters track game with bows and arrows. Women gather berries, roots and honey. Their survival depends on ancient wisdom. They live in harmony with nature. Their culture links us to our shared past. Kima, a young Hadzabe man, is eager to prove himself. He is strong and agile, his senses sharp. Kima yearns to be a great hunter, like his father and grandfather before him. He can feel the weight of tradition on his shoulders. The responsibility to provide for his family and community fuels his determination. He's been practicing with his bow and arrow since he was a child. His aim is true, his movement swift and silent. Kima can feel the thrill of the hunt coursing through his veins. He is eager to contribute to the well-being of his people. Today, Kima will join the hunt with the other men. He feels a mix of excitement and anticipation. He knows that the success of the hunt is crucial for his community. Their survival depends on it. The hunters wake before dawn. The air is cool and crisp. They share a simple breakfast of honey and berries. Their faces are painted with ochre and charcoal in traditional patterns. Each mark holds meaning, invoking the spirits of the hunt for a successful outing. Kima feels a surge of pride as he walks alongside the experienced hunters. They move silently through the tall grass. Their senses are alert. They scan for any sign of movement, any rustle of leaves that might betray their prey. The fate of their families rests on their skill and cunning. They spot a herd of zebra in the distance. The animals graze peacefully, unaware of the danger lurking nearby. The hunters whisper a strategy, their voices barely audible. They fan out, surrounding the unsuspecting prey. Each hunter waits for the signal to strike. Kima's heart pounds in his chest. He can feel the adrenaline coursing through his veins. He draws back his bowstring, his arrow aimed at a plump zebra. But just as he's about to release, a bird cries out, startling the herd. The zebras scatter, their hooves pounding the earth in a frenzy of fear. The hunters are left empty-handed. Disappointment hangs heavy in the air. The hunters regroup, their faces etched with frustration. They had been so close to success. Kima feels a pang of guilt, wondering if his inexperience had somehow contributed to their failure. The older hunters, wise and patient, reassure Kima. They remind him that the hunt is a game of patience and perseverance. They teach him to read the subtle signs of the savannah, the whispers in the wind that betray the movements of their prey. They decide to change their tactics. Instead of pursuing large game, they will focus on smaller prey. They set traps for birds and rodents. They gather wild honey from a beehive hidden high in a baobab tree. Every bit of sustenance counts. Hours turn into a full day of hunting. The sun beats down on the hunters' backs. Their throats are parched, but their spirits remain unbroken. They know that their families are counting on them. They will not give up easily. As the sun begins to set, casting long shadows across the savannah, they come across a watering hole. A herd of impala, their sleek coats glistening in the fading light, cautiously approach to quench their thirst. The hunters exchange knowing glances. This is their chance. They move silently, their bare feet making no sound on the dry earth. They position themselves downwind of the animals, their scent carried away by the gentle breeze. Kima's heart races, but his hands are steady. He has learned from his earlier mistake. He will not let his excitement get the better of him this time. The lead hunter lets out a bird call, a signal to his companions. In unison, they rise from their hiding places, their arrows finding their marks with deadly accuracy. An impala falls, its body pierced by several arrows. The rest of the herd scatters in panic, their hooves drumming a frantic rhythm as they disappear into the twilight. A collective cheer erupts from the hunters. They have been successful. Kima, his heart pounding with exhilaration, retrieves his arrow from the fallen impala. He feels a surge of pride knowing that he has contributed to his community's survival. They gather around their kill, their faces illuminated by the flickering light of the fire. They offer thanks to the spirits of the hunt for their bounty. They butcher the impala with reverence, using every part of the animal. Nothing is wasted. As they make their way back to the camp, their steps are lighter. They carry the impala on their shoulders, a symbol of their triumph over the challenges of their environment. They know that their families will welcome them with open arms. Section 7. Sharing the bounty. The Hadzabe believe in sharing. When the hunters return to camp, they are greeted with cheers and celebrations. The women and children rush to meet them, eager to help with the heavy load. The air is filled with excitement as they share stories of the day's adventures. The impala is carefully butchered. Every part of the animal is used. The meat is roasted over an open fire, filling the air with a tantalizing aroma. The hide will be tanned and used for clothing or shelter. Even the bones will be used to make tools or weapons. The entire community gathers to share the bounty. The elders receive the choicest cuts, a sign of respect for their wisdom and experience. The hunters, their faces smudged with dirt and sweat, beam with pride as they watch their families eat their fill. Tonight, no one will go hungry. The success of the hunt ensures the survival of the community for another day. As the flames of the fire dance in the darkness, casting flickering shadows on the faces of the Hadzabe, there is a palpable sense of gratitude and contentment. Section 8. Echoes of the Ancestors. As Kima savors the taste of the roasted impala, he can't help but feel a profound connection to his ancestors. He knows that they too hunted these lands for thousands of years. Their spirits are alive in the rustling leaves, the whispers of the wind, the ancient rhythms of the hunt. He thinks of the stories his grandfather used to tell him about the old days, when animals were plentiful and the land was untouched. He remembers the lessons he learned about respect for nature, for the animals they hunted, for the delicate balance of life in the savannah. Kima realizes that the hunt is about more than just food. It's about preserving a way of life, a connection to the past, a deep understanding of the natural world. It's about honoring the legacy of his ancestors and ensuring the survival of his people for generations to come. Section 9. Kima's Night Sky. Later that night, as the stars blanket the sky, Kima lies awake in his makeshift shelter. He listens to the sounds of the savannah, the chirping of crickets, the distant howl of a jackal, the gentle breathing of his family sleeping peacefully around him. He feels a deep sense of gratitude for the land that sustains him, for the traditions that bind his community together, for the opportunity to follow in the footsteps of his ancestors. He knows that the challenges of tomorrow await, but tonight he's content. Kima closes his eyes, the image of the majestic impala etched in his mind. He knows that he will never forget this hunt, the lessons he learned, the emotions he experienced. It is a day that marks his passage into manhood, a day that strengthens his resolve to preserve the Hadzabe way of life. Section 10. A Timeless Rhythm. The sun rises, painting the savannah in hues of gold and orange. Another day begins for the Hadzabe. The cycle of life continues, a timeless rhythm of hunting, gathering, sharing, and connecting with the natural world. Kima, now a seasoned hunter, will pass on the knowledge and skills he has learned to his own children and grandchildren. The legacy of the Hadzabe, their deep connection to the land and their ancient traditions, will live on, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity's earliest ancestors. Their story, is a reminder to us all that the human spirit is deeply intertwined with the natural world. It is a story of resilience, adaptation, and the importance of preserving cultural diversity in a rapidly changing world. The Hadzabe, in their simple yet profound way of life, offer us a glimpse into our own past, a mirror reflecting the enduring bond between humanity and nature.